So I get asked all the time, Jen, why are you so excited about Claude Code? And so I just wanted to show you a use case that I have created. So this is an actual use that I'm doing today because I saw this yesterday in my school community. If you're not yet a member, please come join us. It's a lot of fun. We just talk real, real AI, not pie in the sky stuff. So, but I made a small post talking about how I built my new website using Claude Code and how I like it because of how easy it is, like talking to a developer, but instead of waiting 2 weeks, I get it like tomorrow. And I noticed like Brenda asked this question and I was like, yeah, it was actually easier than I thought. Maybe I should do a workshop. And people started, you know, we can just keep going here, but people really seem to like this idea. So what I did was I opened up Claude Code and let me scroll to the top here. And I have this basic prompt that I put in, and I put it in plan mode. So if you're new to Claude Code, there's the execute mode, basically. And then there's a plan mode, which is really cool because it talks with you, it makes a plan, you get to approve it before it ever starts building anything. And so I said, plan a workshop that uses Claude Code to build a website using the tech stack I have. Suggest a date based on my current calendar and give a description and basic outline, pull in the skills I use and make it open so I can use it with my clients. How can we make it easy as possible for my tech adverse audience to get started? What angles, problems do we solve, and who is this for? I want a complete summary and plan. And so if you're new to Claude Code, I strongly suggest reading what it is doing as it works through here. So it's like, let me research your existing tech stack. So it figured out exactly what I'm using in Claude Code so that we're not starting from scratch. Let me check your calendar. Now let me read my existing workshop structure. So it read the first workshop that I am going to be hosting on April 1st on how to set up your Claude Code. So we're not repeating those things. We can pick up right where we left off. And now let me send this to a plan agent. So I have a plan agent it's got all the information and it sends it to the plan. Now it has a complete and comprehensive plan. Let's write it up. And I found this really cool. So it gave me all these suggestions. It gave me suggestions on pricing and so forth. And we could, keep reading here. But then it asked me some questions. So let's open this up. Which date? Should attendees need the Claude Code setup workshop first? What should the school access be for this workshop? Because my different workshops are free to different levels in my school groups. So I needed to let it know that. And it set this up. And then I said, hey, I pulled in Alex. Alex is my quality assurance, my QA, right? Alex knows how to check everything and make sure, because when you chat in ChatGPT or Claude, it's like, yeah, I've got in this plan, if I just looked at it, yeah, it looked amazing and I loved it. But I have built for myself, and this was really much easier than you'd think, to build a little agent called Alex. And so I pulled in Alex and I said, hey, Alex, do you approve? Kind of like you'd move that employee in. And Alex looked through this and she said, let me load my standards, review it all. And she gave me some really great things. She's like, yeah, the date's open, but you're promoting something else the week before. You're not giving enough value to your clients. I suggest you push it back a week so that you can give a lot of value before you promote something else. And I love that. How smart, right? Because I really don't want to be the person who just sells all the time. And then it also made another issue. It said 90 minutes might be too tight for this type of workshop. We could give them a couple little things to do ahead of time, or we could extend it to 2 hours, or we could have more of it pre-built. And if I can pre-build anything for you, I'm like, let's do that. We are going to pre-build a whole zip file that we can load and then customize. And I'm super excited about that. And then the way that it was calling to the other offer, it's like, wait, the timing doesn't match. We need to change. what is the call to action from this, and then what's worked well, and then the summary. So it just asked me a few questions. These are the issues. What do you want to do? And I said, what agent needs to put this into Asana? And so it pulled the right agent. It moved it all into Asana, and it's putting it in Asana first, and then it's going to build this whole thing out. And because I've told it how I want my website built, I don't have to go into Go High Level like I used to. This is actually going to build the page, and I didn't have to write a skill for how to build the page. It has learned from when I was like, oh, I like this, I don't like this. It just updates it and builds every new page to match exactly what I'm doing. So as you can see, this is working. It is actually going there, and it's going to ask me to approve things like can preview project creation. Yes, I always wanted to do that, right? So it's much more secure than something like OpenClaw because you are giving it permission to do things. And the more you read through what it's asking you, what it's doing, the easier some of these little things. You'll notice not a lot of this looks like code. And I'm sorry, I broke up my sentence. But sometimes it looks a little weird because there's code in here. But the more you read it, you'll realize most of it's not code. So I know Claude Code sounds super techy, but this is the next level where it can make a plan. And then based on everything it knows about you, it's just going to go in and do the work. So it wants me to go in Asana. We just set this up today, so it's making sure. I always tell it the first 5 times we run something, it needs to tell me to go in and check it. And it always tells me where to go in and check it. And then we move on. So the first 5 times everything does something, I look it over, make sure everything's right, give feedback. It updates the stuff for me. I don't know whether it's a skill agent. Honestly, I'm telling you this, you don't need to know the difference because Claude will know the difference. So if you want to, get started with some of this stuff, come to the April 1st workshop for sure. That's where we get started and we set it up to learn and grow like this. So you don't need to know what a skill is. You don't need to know what an agent is. You just need to go in and talk to it like you do ChatGPT. And as you do that, it is going to build the system that does more and more for you. And I'll tell you the level of what it's doing right here. I'll just say, ready? So it moves on so you can see the more you talk to it, just like you would ChatGPT, the less you need to talk to it. It's going to learn what you like, learn what you don't. If you already have things that projects in Claude or custom GPTs and ChatGPT, just bring them in and I'll show you all of that on April 1st. All right. I can't wait to see you either in the community or in the next place, but I wanted to show you real case. This is working in real time. It is building my website. It is setting up my Stripe links. It is doing everything for me in a safe environment, which is so exciting. And it will even add this to my calendar so I don't accidentally double book myself. I'm loving it. So if you have any questions, reach out and we'll talk soon.